Last week's Digit Show was all about celebrating the best of home appliances that power your home. You met the winners on the show. But today, the focus shifts back to a larger conversation. Conversation around smart televisions, conversation around changing preferences of buyers. And also, we're going to give you the very first look of Google's new Pixel lineup. This is your host Manas Tiwari. Let's start today's episode. First up, we have a detailed conversation with Sony India MD Sunil Nayyar around the changing buying habits around smart televisions, difference between OLED, Mini LED and RGB TVs, and which one should be part of your living room, and much more. Let's hear it from him. You've had a long day at work. You come home, you want to play some slow music, you turn on your soundbar. You're done with your dinner, you want to watch your favorite show, you turn on your TV. It's weekend, you want to enjoy a lazy day, you turn on your gaming console, you start playing your favorite game. It's evening, you want to go out, you want to click pictures, you pick up your camera, you take pictures. One brand is enabling all those experiences, and that's Sony. It's been doing it for years. I have with me the India MD for Sony, Sunil sir. I've known him.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Manas, for having me here today, and really delighted to be here.
I'm going to talk about all of that today. Obviously, there's so much that I also want to understand and ask you from a market perspective, the current macroeconomic situation,
Sure.
the consumer trends and all of that. But let me start with something which you just announced a few days back. That's your new RGB Bravia
Oh my
lineup
God,
of
Manas,
television.
It was a very overwhelming experience for us yesterday. We launched our biggest television, 115-inch, for the
Yes.
first time in the country. Exceptionally beautiful TVs. Very, very compelling technology behind the television. We call it. So this is the first time, very unique, Sony proprietary, huge breakthrough in color technology. So I would give you a reference of Trinitron. Sony launched Trinitron in 1968. That's way back, right? That's also talked about the best color, reproduction in the television at that point of time, right? So here we are today. We launched True RGB. This is like color brilliance and, kind of what we can, true realism of picture at your place, at home, right? So we call it, I would say, the best cinema experience any television brand will give you at home will be our True RGB televisions, yeah.
And why do you say that? So because a cinema coming home has been your philosophy for the last few years. You've obviously collaborated with AS director S.S.
Mr. Rajamouli, yeah. Rajamouli sir is, he's the, yeah.
But that's as a phrase of philosophy, it sounds great. But how are you actually replicating a director's vision, bringing that home? Of course, the size of these televisions, it goes from 55-inch to 115-inch. That's in itself massive. I've seen that TV up and close. Looks beautiful. But in terms of technology, experience, how are you bringing a theatrical experience to the homes of your consumers?
Beautiful. So I think, as you rightly said, I'll quickly come to Sony's ecosystem first. So lens to living, right?
Yes.
So why Sony is in the best position to make our customers experience that cinema, kind of true cinema experience at home? Because we make movies, right? So we shoot on Sony cameras, like most of the
Yes.
movies are now made. We have Sony Pictures in Hollywood. We are doing a lot of camera business with Bollywood also. So a lot of content is shot on Sony cameras, right? So that's lens point of view right there. And then we do all the pre and post production. We have huge studios in Hollywood, right? So we have the prowess of color, temperature, and what a director envisions to be, kind of the realism he wants to bring to the customers, kind of psyche, right? So I believe this is our strength. This is Sony's strength, that we have lens to living kind of a phenomena there, right? So then the delivery of this entertainment is at home. And that's where our True RGB television scores the point, right? So what we did this time is a very special technology. It's like for the first time Sony introduced the backlight technology. We call it master backlight technology, which directly controls the three separate color formations. which is the red, greens and blues, right?
Yeah.
So which actually no competition offers, right? So what happens is, as a director has envisaged the scene in his mind, the same delivery at home is what Sony promises to the customer. So that, I think that's something which is very big, very huge, and I don't think so any of our competitors can kind of attempt to do that. Yeah.
And I think that's a good segue to my next question, because as you said, you're everywhere. Sony as a brand is everywhere, right? You make cinema cameras for big Hollywood studios. You just mentioned that there are master displays in studios.
Oh yeah. So we have those master displays. So when the shoot is happening,
you can actually see.
So the directors sit there, they see the entire scope of the screen, the color, depth, contrast, brightness, all the components, all the visual components. Of course, sound is another big thing.
Yes.
Which we can talk later.
Yes.
So all this has to be reproduced the way it is created. Right? So that's where the technology comes into play, and we are able to deliver exactly the same. Yeah.
And so as I was saying that you, because are giving these cinema cameras to big studios, you have these master displays, you also make sound bars, you have content distribution with you are making Bravia TVs for home, you have PlayStations, and you, as you yourself said, that there is no one in competition who can actually do that. And I mean, the fact is that nobody is actually doing it. So what sort of advantage do you think all of this whole ecosystem, this end-to-end ecosystem that you have, gives you over your competition, other brands that are possibly in the market?
So, I mean, it's easy for us to talk to the consumer that, because from our point of view, we are selling hardware largely, right? So the customer, when he buys our products, we practically explain to him that, once he takes the product at home, his experiential quotient will be the best.
So coming back to televisions, of course, what we have seen historically, India can be a very difficult market. You always have these fluctuations going in terms of price points, consumer behavior, a lot of that. But what we have seen is that Sony's value growth has remained absolutely robust, right? Especially even when people are sort of going towards a more premium, large screen television experience. How do you think that has been possible?
So, two big things have happened in the country, right, as far as television viewing is concerned. One is customers have tended to, gravitate towards premium televisions. That's a big change.
That's absolutely there, yes. And also large size.
And the second big thing is the large size.
Yes. And I think it's quite interesting also, because as I said, that 75-inch plus screen is now picking up. I remember the first time I was actually reviewing a 75-inch TV, I had gone around asking some of these analyst firms, like, if there is some sort of a data they can share with me in terms of what sort of sales are happening in this category and all. And back then, and trust me on this, nobody was even monitoring this segment. Nobody had any data, and it's amazing how it has picked up like this.
I'll tell you, 5 years back, we did not even have a segment called 75-inch to analyze within the company, right?
Yes.
We were all selling 32-inch, 43-inch, they were the prime sellers. We introduced 55-inch, which started to sell well. So now what we say is the new 32 is the 55-inch, the new 43-inch is the 65-inch, and the new 55-inch is 75-inch and beyond. So I think there's a huge change which has happened in customers' viewing habits, right? And this is a very beautiful story turning out for Sony, because we make largely premium products.
Yeah. Okay. There's another side to this story also, because while we see that a lot of people are buying large TVs, and these are largely family audience, right? Where you want to put a large television for a family experience, everybody comes together, they watch a lot of these stuff. A lot of the youngsters, do you think that they're actually still buying televisions? Because from where I see, a lot of the content consumption is now happening on either phones, all of them have iPads. And a lot of people are also looking towards portable options, let's say like a budget projector. So there is also a belief that, maybe the Gen Zs, they have been in news trend all over. I don't want to offend any one of them. There's one sitting right here. But a lot of them are actually maybe not buying televisions. Do you agree with that?
Okay, so that's a very, very interesting question you asked, Manas. So there was a discussion on this a few years back, that how will the TV industry trend change, because of this phenomena, Gen Z or Gen Alpha, whatever it is, youngsters primarily.
Yes.
They are on the move, right? They don't want to sit at home. Even at home, they want privacy.
Home at one place.
They don't want to be the family, all those kind of stuff. Believe me, everything not correct. Everything was not true. Television the market growth numbers are already talking about it. So market is overall market stable, but big screen, big TVs, premium TVs are growing, as I said, right?
Yes.
40-50%. Obviously, not all millennials are buying. Definitely, there are Gen Zs who are buying. That's for sure. And I'll tell you the reason. Again, right? Even they watch cinema. They watch lots of OTT. Their consumption of OTT is like phenomenal. You know that,
yes,
right?
Yes, absolutely.
And they want to also watch it in a good quality, in a good setting. They watch a lot of sports.
Yes,
right?
That's true.
They play a lot of games, also PlayStation, right?
Yes.
And they need a good TV, because if you don't have a good TV, which has a motion flow, it will disrupt your gaming experience, right? So all in all, Manas, TV is required in a house.
But
TV will continue to play a central role as far as the most important entertainment device in the house.
In the house goes.
There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
Because we thought about that. It might be, what do we do about it? Now, TV for us is very big, actually, right? So what do we do? And nothing of that sort is happening. That's the reason we'll continue innovation. And we'll continue bringing more technologies and all. But yeah, so everything has its place. I mean, if you're out traveling, everybody watches on a mobile phone.
So, sir, this brings me to probably the next two big trends, which probably are big decision makers for anyone buying a television. One is obviously OTT streaming. We have spoken about how now there's 4K OTT content as well. And second is live sports. Even though there were a few reports suggesting that IPL viewership numbers were not that great on TV, but we know that it's being watched left, right, center on streaming platforms. And cricket is going to stay in India. But even for a football World Cup, I think the numbers were not that bad, given the timing and a lot of doubts that people had about it earlier. How much does these sort of formats, both OTT content now being picking up like that, and a lot of reality shows, by the way, on OTT platforms these days, and live sports, they are influencing how you are packaging your products, like a combination of your televisions, audio devices, a lot of those things that you are now figuring out in terms of your offerings to the consumers?
Yeah, so as I said, right, so OTT is growing at a phenomenal pace. If numbers are correct, more than 600 million consumers already, in India. And I think three times or fourfold growth in the last couple of years. This is crazy. Nowhere in the world this is happening, right? So, and more importantly, the quality of content available today is absolutely mind-boggling, right? So it has all the technologies, vision, Atmos, as I said, IMAX enhanced, HDR 10, everything is there, right? DTSX also, sound related, right? So you need the best gadgets to experience all this. So that's what we are trying to explain to customers. Okay, you have all the beautiful content available. Where do you watch it? Believe me, Manas, you watch it on a good television and a good sound system. The same content in a different, with the different gadgets.
Makes
the difference is day and night.
Yes,
let me tell you. And this is where, one more time, I have to emphasize why Sony scores the point, because we are creators of content, right? And even big OTT platforms like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and others also are creating, right, good content. So in Hollywood, and with these OTT, big players, engineers work hand in hand to create a technology which ensures that anybody watches a Netflix or an Amazon, the experience is totally different. The output is completely different. Different in the sense it's truly cinematic, right? The way again Netflix director intended to be, right?
It's true that.
So what is that technology? We call it studio calibrated mode.
Let's talk about India, sir. Such a big story,
India
such a part of your story.
India is always, a shining star. We were always very, confident about it. Now we have been doing, business in India for quite some time now.
3 decades?
Yes, almost 3 decades.
Almost 3
no, you're
decades.
right.
I mean, we completed 25 years this year. Digit, you've been there for
So yes, you're right. So it has been a long, long time. I remember those days when we used to convince even, so our headquarters is in Tokyo, right? That India is a great story. India will be a beautiful story forever, and for a long time. And they were kind of fine with it and a little bit skeptical. And the confidence level was low at that point. I'm talking about even 10 years before.
Yeah, definitely.
But as I talk today, India becomes our most strategic market actually for Sony. Our rate of growth is pretty consistent and pretty solid compared to the rest of the world, and India still offers lots of opportunities. I don't think so we have tapped even half of it, maybe I would say, in all spheres of our business, which is audio, visual,
television, gaming,
cameras, imaging, professional cameras, professional audios, gaming, everything. There are tons of streams now.
Now, it's been a wonderful conversation. Just to wrap this up, you obviously some time ago had set a target of 10,000 crore revenue in the next few years, if I'm not wrong. And now where we stand today, how do you look at that? Are you on your path to match that target? And keeping in mind the next 3 to 5 years, where do you think the growth is coming from? What are the product categories, markets within India where you see the growth is coming from?
Okay, so target stays 10,000 crores. I was expecting that we could have done it a bit earlier.
Okay.
But many challenges came, in between, and so we were kind of little bit. We have been a little bit, shy of that target. So this year we should be closing around 8,500.
Okay.
And I am pretty confident with what we are going to launch and all these new products, technologies, form factors, other stuff. I think 10,000 crores within the next couple of years looks a very realistic target for us. So that's how it's going to happen.
It would be a shame if I end this interview without asking you this question. It's been more than 20 years for you at Sony?
Yes. No, I have completed now, I don't want to tell in the interview here like that, but 30 years.
Okay, wow, 30 years at Sony. No, what I was coming to, what I was coming to was like when you started 30 years ago, did you ever think that 40-year-olds, 45-year-olds in India would be placing orders at 12 in the night, 1 in the night for your gaming controls, trying to get them in just 10 minutes? Was that even like something, could you have even in the wildest dreams imagined something like that कि रात को 12 बजे PlayStation के 10 ऑर्डर आए कि 10 मिनट में PlayStation खेलना है?
Unbelievable है. This is unheard of, unthinkable. No way I could have thought like that. Even I would say 3 years back also, I couldn't even dream that somebody would be requiring a PlayStation console. I'm not talking about games, not software. Console at 2 o'clock in the night.
Yes.
And he wants it within 10 minutes.
Thank you so much, sir. I think this was a wonderful conversation. A lot of great insights there about consumer patterns, what you are planning, how consumer patterns and behavior and buying decisions, buying patterns have changed over the years. So much to learn there, of course, because you have watched the industry very, very closely. I think even though Digit has been around for 25 years, I have not been. So it's so much.
Yeah, but you have been our close partner. I think we have been together, and you have gone along with us in this journey, right?
Yeah.
As far as technology has unfolded in the country. So thanks a lot for all the support anyway, and all this great association together.
Yeah. So thank you so much for your time and all the best for all your plans. I hope despite whatever challenges that there are in the market, you continue to meet your targets and continue to grow, and obviously keep making these fun, innovative, great products that keep adding so much of joy to our lives.
Absolutely. So you can be rest assured, we'll continue to add a lot of joy, smiles on our customers, faces, and continue to provide them wholesome entertainment with that emotional connect.
Absolutely.
You know what I told, call as, Kando experience with great technology and creativity. Yes, we continue on this journey. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It's clear that people are looking at televisions very differently as compared to how they would about 10 years ago. Well, on the show now, it's time for a quick break. On the other side, there's much more lined up for you, so stay tuned. Welcome back to the Digit Show. This is your host Manas Tiwari. Now, I've realized that lately on this show, we've been talking a lot about how Gen Zs are consuming their tech. But I thought for fun, it's about time we actually get a Gen Z and talk to them and understand how their preferences have changed. So I have with me Srishti today. Srishti is part of our extended team. She's a Gen Z. How old are you? Don't tell it on camera. Never say it on camera. That was a trick question. But what we're going to do, Srishti, is I'm going to ask you a few questions about how you use your tech. You have to give me an answer. Are you ready?
Okay.
Are you confident?
100%.
Are you excited?
Yes.
Great. Let's go. iOS or Android?
Android.
I don't expect that answer from a millennial, by the way. Dark mode or light mode?
Dark mode, always.
How many tabs would be open on your laptop?
100 plus. I don't count.
ChatGPT or Claude?
ChatGPT.
Voice notes, do you find them convenient or annoying?
Convenient. But better with transcripts.
First app that you open in the morning?
Insta.
Next question then answers itself. Insta DMs or text messages?
Insta.
What's your average screen time? Under 4 hours or more?
14 घंटे.
Oh my god, 14 घंटे क्या कर रहे हो आप? What's worse, 1% battery or no Wi-Fi?
1% battery.
Okay, this is really tricky. Accidentally liking a 3-year-old post or sending a text to the wrong group chat?
Accidentally liking a 3-year-old phone.
WhatsApp read receipts on or off?
I like it off, but I find it very annoying on someone else. So this is a 50-50.
Texting someone first or just calling them directly?
Texting. Don't call me. I don't know you.
Okay. AI to write your emails, a genius time saver or just losing your soul?
Emails is already losing your soul, so yeah, I don't mind AI doing it.
That's what Gen Z stand for, guys. Clearly, there's a lot of focus on personal choices, personal preferences, your own time. Thank you so much, Srishti. Thank you. So yes, that gives us an insight on how Gen Zs are thinking they're consuming their tech. And all of this, though, happens on a phone, on a screen. And there are a bunch of new phones in the town. Google's new Pixel lineup. Here's Aman taking you through each and every model, comparing them, giving you all the details to make you understand which one is probably the best for you.
There are 4 Pixel phones this year, and the difference between the most affordable model and the most expensive model is almost 1 lakh rupees. The Pixel 11 starts at 90,000 rupees. The Pixel 11 Pro costs 1,20,000 rupees. The 11 Pro XL costs 1,35,000 rupees. And the almighty Pixel 11 Pro Fold costs 1,87,000 rupees. So the question isn't really that which Pixel is right for you. The question is that which Pixel 11 makes the most sense for your wallet. Well, I've spent some brief time with all the Pixel 11 devices, and here are my first impressions of the brand new Pixel 11 series. Hello everyone, Aman here for Digit, and now let's get started. The first thing you notice when you pick up the new Pixels is that the familiar Pixel design and the camera bar are still here, but the bar is now 40% thinner on the regular Pixel 11, making the phone sit much flatter on a table and feel less bulky in your pocket. The Pixel 11 also gets a matte metal frame and glass back with IP68 protection. The Pro models feel more premium though. The Pixel 11 Pro and Pro XL get Google's brightest ever Super Actua displays, reaching up to 3600 nits brightness, along with a new anti-scratch coating. And then there's the Pixel 11 Pro Fold, which is obviously in a different league altogether. But the biggest change across this generation is inside. The Pixel 11 series is powered by Google's new Tensor G6, and what this Tensor chip lets Google do with the phone. Google says the G6 chip has a 25% faster CPU for web browsing and 15% quicker app launches, while its TPU has 50% more compute power. More importantly, on-device AI tasks can be processed up to 3.5 times faster while using up to 3.5 times less energy compared with Tensor G5. And that matters because AI is becoming a much bigger part of the Pixel experience. Gemini is built into the experience with the latest Gemini Nano running on the phone. There are also camera-focused AI features, and Google's latest imaging models work with the Tensor G6 to push zoom on the Pro models up to 120x digitally. The cameras themselves are getting meaningful upgrades too. The regular Pixel 11 gets a larger 48-megapixel main sensor with 56% more light sensitivity, plus a 5x optical telephoto lens that can now reach 30x digital zoom. On the Pro and Pro XL, there's a new main sensor and a redesigned 48-megapixel telephoto camera with 30% more light sensitivity. Portrait mode also works at 5x. Google says night sight can now capture images up to 4.5 times faster. So, where does that leave the four phones? If you're looking at the Pixel 11 at 89,999 rupees, this is the one I would recommend to most people. You're getting the Tensor G6 chip, the Pixel camera experience, Gemini and Google's software without crossing the 1 lakh rupees mark. You still get 256GB storage as standard, and the camera hardware is no longer something that you can dismiss as the obvious weak point. Yes, the Pro models have better displays and cameras, but if you're mostly taking everyday photos, using social media, watching YouTube and want a clean Android experience with Google's AI features, I don't think you need to spend 30,000 rupees more. That's what makes the Pixel 11 the smart buy. Then there's the Pixel 11 Pro at 1,19,999 rupees. This is for the one who actually cares about the camera. The new main sensor, upgraded 48-megapixel telephoto lens, 5x portrait mode and 120x Pro zoom make the Pro a much more serious photography phone. You also get the brighter 3600 nit display and a more premium build. And there's a neat Pro-only feature called Highlight, where LEDs around the camera flash can give you glanceable notifications without forcing you to pick up the phone. If you are keeping your phone for 3 or 4 years and photography is absolutely important to you, I would pay the extra 30,000 rupees. The Pixel 11 Pro XL at 1,34,999 rupees is even simpler. It's the Pro experience for people who want a big phone. If you watch a lot of content, play games, edit photos, read documents, or just simply prefer a larger display, this is the one to get. And finally, the Pixel 11 Pro Fold at 1,86,999 rupees. This is not the phone I would recommend just because it is the most expensive Pixel. But if you actually want a foldable, the larger inner screen changes what you can do with the phone, particularly for multitasking, reading and productivity. But if you mostly use your phone like a normal phone, save your money, I would say. You're paying a huge premium for a form factor you may not use enough. By the way, all the phones that you just saw in this video also get 7 years of main OS and security updates and all the latest Pixel drop updates. But yes, these were my first impressions and what I think about the latest Pixel 11 devices. What are your thoughts? Share everything with me in the comments below. And more coverage around the Pixel 11 is dropping soon on Digit. For now, thank you for watching and take care of yourselves.
Which is better? Well, for all of that, you'll have to keep watching The Digit Show every Saturday, 8:30 a.m. on Times Now. You can also follow our website, follow us on our social media handles. That's where you get a lot of fun, interesting content. This is your host, Manas Tiwari, signing off until next week.